Shy, shy. Hush, hush. Good morning. I was so close. I was like, what song should I play? And I just heard this on the radio. I just heard this in work. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to play that. Because it's a catchy little number. It was a throwback. And it was in the 80s. So, there's that. Well, why wouldn't we get it messed up already? Tater! Good morning. Welcome back. And if you're not here, you can go do your mum stuff. I don't know if you're called a mum, so I don't want you to think that that's derogatory. But anyway, good morning, Ocean Tide. Good morning, Samantha. Happy to have you. You can lurk. Uh, S- Stephanie's here. Oh, my nose is all clogged up. I think Mr. Kazi's getting me sick. Good morning. Good morning, Jarell, the good old 80s. Um, yeah, I know. Ocean probably didn't hear that song. Ocean, what kind of music do you listen to? Like, do you listen to country or like, I don't know, what do you listen to? Like disco, Motown? What is it? Tater, welcome back. Good morning, Andrea. Ocean. We teach Ocean around here. So listen. Went to the doctor yesterday. And this is big news, big news. My last two lives were blocked. We can't see them. So after this, I have to edit them out the songs because they blocked us for the damn songs. Good morning, Nico and Steven. They blocked us for the damn songs. Bastards. So I'll cut it and edit it because I want everybody to see us in the hotel. I told you that, like, when that lady was coming in there, the cleaning lady, that shit was funny in the background. Yeah, I listen to many types, but growing up only listen to country. Okay. Well, that makes sense that you wouldn't know anything I do because I don't listen to country. I'm not a country fan. So we went to the doctor yesterday just to do, like, our 4-month check-in. We do every 4 months, we know, just a regular doctor. Hi Harley. It's official. I am 235 pounds. 20 pounds away from my goal. I want to be 215. I don't care if people still think that that's fat. Fight me on it. 215. So it's a total of, damn it, I had the total and I can't do math. I gotta get the calculator. I'm bad at math. 74 pounds. We are 74 pounds down. Woohoo! I don't know much country either. Yeah, probably just like the bigger people. That was my hip first, not the back of the chair. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Mr. Kazi went to the doctor this week too, and he's officially down. Now he's doing it the macro way. Like he's doing his, like, macro. Jeez, oh man, that was a high one. He's down 13 pounds. So, how tall are you? Well, I used to be 5'7.5", and now I'm 5'6". Lost an inch and a half. But I think that's because I had the back surgeries and they got rid of the arthritis in there. So I'm 5'6". But I used to be tall. Now I'm just average. Anyway, so that's the thing. That's the news on that. And I'm, like, really excited. I was telling the girl, like, the medical assistant that does all of that. I'm your height. I was telling the girl that like, the medical assistant. Her and I talk all the time. Poor Mr. Kazi goes in there and breaks their stones. Both, the one was promoted and the other one's now there. So he's got a team of girls. But they both like the Cowboys. So he goes in there and he breaks their stones all of the time. So then when I come in, they're like, your husband was here and he was doing that. I said, I know, but yeah, like, he's fun. He's not like a jerk or anything. So She had the surgery too, and she got pregnant with twins 6 months after. I was like, I couldn't imagine getting pregnant right after, having the surgery. So she's like, I didn't lose, I gained, and then I'm losing now again. And I said, the body dysmorphia is really, I mean, I see, like, I see it sometimes, but then other times I'm like, oh, I still got the belly and everything like that. But then I still eat the popcorners and have chocolate, right? Five and a half. That half makes a difference. Don't take the half an inch off of the girls. Don't take that off. You take it off of our waist, but not off of our height. 30 months. Thank you for being here for almost 3 years. I can't believe we've been doing this for 3 years. Thank you, Tater. I'm so glad that you're back too. I love when you're here. I feel like you're the adult of the group. I mean, we're all adults, but for some reason you make me feel like we're being supervised. Mr. Kazi's at the gym right now. He started his legs again. He hasn't done legs since December because of the whole heel thing. So he's, pushing himself a little bit more, doing the legs. He was doing his arms. Now he's doing that. He walked 2.5 miles yesterday, and it is Satan hot over here. I have no idea what I look like half the time. I was underweight, so face and left, like a whale. Other days, catch myself in the mirror and be like, Darrell, this isn't good. It is. It isn't good, right? I mean, I don't care. I just know I can walk and, I just feel better. I just feel better. My blood pressure meds were cut in half because I still have the high blood pressure. You can be as skinny as a rail and have high blood pressure. So, all of that, yes, just relax. It's hot where you are too. Yeah, we're getting heat. It's going to be damn near till Tuesday, like 100. And then the next 2 days is going to be that humid, hot, can't breathe weather. The other day, I went outside and for work, Thursday, I went outside and my glasses instantly fogged up. Like, I couldn't, there was only like little tiny, like, holes that I could see when I was walking. I said, I'm not taking these damn things off. I know where the car is. I could walk to the car. My dad was rail and high blood pressure. Yep. So we kept that. We kept it good. We monitored. The last time I was there, he cut me down. So this time we monitored it and everything's good. My blood pressure was good. So I said, all right, we'll keep that going. We're good. So hot, but I still go out. What? I go out fully covered so the mosquitoes don't eat me alive. Stephanie, didn't you? Well, I said this so long ago. I don't know. Fun hack, and it works. My grandmother, my darling BFF, told me that if you're going out and it's like mosquito weather, get a dryer sheet and put it in your pocket, and they stay away from you. And damned if that didn't work. I'm allergic to the dryer sheets, but it was in my pocket, and I didn't get beat. I didn't get eaten up. I'm praying for rain. The temps are crazy. It's so bad. It's so bad. We had a thunderstorm last night. It was like around 6, I guess. I heard the thunder and I was like, is that thunder? Because it's not on my map. But it did. It was bright as can be, pouring down rain. A friend of ours is Vietnamese and Irish. She's 4'10". She emphasized about half everything it's mentioned. Aye. Yeah, try it. Torella, it's bad. I've always used the all, like, no fragrance, no dyes. I've always used that. Mr. Kazi has to use it. I can use Snuggle. I can use a little bit of the Snuggle. I can only use the blue sparkle. Put a little bit in there so my clothes are soft. But anything I can't walk down the cleaning product aisle and I can't walk down the laundry aisle. So, Mr. Kazi, I'll be two here. You go down and get the stuff. So it's horrible. It's horrible. The allergies. I don't know why when you get older you get worse. My grandmother on my mom's was 5 foot, but shrank to 4'11". Oh, yeah. I mean, I guess that's what happens. And then I was reading the after summary because, Rosie, we don't have to talk about it. Well, we talk about this because we've been going through this weight loss journey together. But I don't trauma dump. So, Rosie, you don't have to do that. You could just let your friends know, like, what's going on with you. I was reading the after summary. And my arm's on fire. Like, it's on fire all the time. And all the live long day. I take the meloxicam. I take half in the morning, half at night. It works. It takes the fire away. But I still it still hurts. So I read that and he told me that we talked about osteoarthritis. I said I didn't know that there was a label on it now. So apparently that's what we're dealing with. And I was like, all right, whatever. I'll be 54 in a couple of weeks. So I guess I'm blessed. I don't have anything else going on. So there's that. I used to use Downy, the lavender one, and start. Ooh, that's weird that you can. I can't do the scented lotions either. Yeah, that's weird that you can do that. Like, the only thing I get away with is my perfume. Now, I know that this has been out since the 90's. I know that it's probably old-fashioned, but weekly I get complimented. Like the girl, the last one, the girl, I went through the Dunkin' drive-through. I went to go get my coffee, and she was like, "You smell good. What is that?" And I'm like, "You can smell me. I'm in my car, and you're at a window." I said, "Yeah, I use Happy Clinique, been using it since the 90's, and I'm not gonna stop. It's my perfume. So, I don't care. I don't need all these, like, Chanel." I think, you know what, guys? We're gonna have to ditch the headbands because all of my headbands are walking my head, and it's driving me nuts. My head lost weight. I have osteoarthritis all over, early onset in my earlies, in my spine, hips, and now my hands, balls of the feet. Oh, no, Jarella. Cheese and crackers. Jarella, that's awful. And you're like, you go, 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 go. You're always on that damn stair climb elliptical. Sorry, I corrected myself. Is that the same thing? Stair climber and elliptical? It gives dog cancer. Fabric softener? What? I never heard tell of that. What? I didn't hear that. I didn't know that's what causes it. Holy smokes. Now listen. I don't know why I started talking about this at work, but I was talking to this girl. She was waiting a really long time, so I was like, I'll just sit and chit chat with her because when you're talking to somebody and you're like, joking about stuff like, whatever. Well, the one thing we were talking about was not a joke, and we'll get there. But I was sitting there talking to her about everything, and I'm like, we were talking about like TV shows. And I said, "Oh, I don't do TV anymore. I do YouTube." And I told her, I said, I'm naive. I'm still naive to YouTube because I didn't know that like people go on like we do. We gather here on Saturday and we just chit chat. And she's like, "Yeah." I said, "All right." So I said, "I do that on Saturday." I said, "And I got caught up in this stupid community." And she's like, "Well, what do you mean?" And I said, "It's called Girl World." I said, "And it's just a bunch of it's just chaos. It's a mess." I said, "But it's my soap opera. I don't watch The Housewives anymore because I'm watching all this nonsense." Didn't she type it into her YouTube and like a thumbnail of like Amber, Chantal, and Nikocado came up? I said, "Yeah, that's them." I said, "But don't go down that rabbit hole." I said, "Because you'll be calling me next week at work, and I don't feel like getting yelled at over Girl World. Let's just not do that." So then she asked me for like what my channel was. And I was like, I don't know why I wasn't thinking, but I gave her my channel. So she might pop in. She said she has off today. So if we see a new name, I'm expecting a new name. If she comes in, she's, she's good peeps. Like we were just talking. So anyway, there's that. I really think Mr. Kazi might have rubbed off on me. I love them, but don't give me your germs, okay? Keep those to yourself, please. Thank you. Thank you. Come again. So, oh, I have to tell you this before we get into the stories that I got. Mr. Kazi texted me the other day, and we all know what he does. He works in banking, right? I'm not, I'm not like doxing his work or anything like that. He just works in fraud. That's all. Like, that's all you need to know. He's just, he's over there protecting you. Like, great job. That's why he's always on scam alert. Like, we gotta shred everything. We can't have anything out there. So he texted me the other day, and the text message started out: no new responsibilities. My hours did not change. Um, I didn't get a raise in the salary. He's like, but I have now become an officer. And I said, ooh, does it come with a uniform? Just joking around with him, because, like, I laughed when I saw that, and I was like, wait, what? So he said, I said, does it come with a uniform? And he's like, no, but I did ask my boss if I can have a badge and a nightstick. I was like, I can imagine him asking for something like that. And he was probably serious when he asked too. So he didn't get a promotion. His title changed. I don't know why they changed his title, but it's funny. It is. That's exactly what he said, Jarrell. He said that it just looks good on the resume. I said, all right. All right, officer. Am I gonna have to, like, I'm already being watched and, analyzed here. Not analyzed, but, he's like, oh, you shouldn't say those things. And, even though we're nice people and we do the right thing, he's still like, you got, I was like, whatever. You're the better one. You're the better half, not me. That's what I'm thinking too, Jarrell. He can leverage it. I know, Tater. I cracked up when he told me that. Because when you start off a text message like that, I'm like, no new responsibilities. My hours didn't change. And he just, like, he he just made the text message. I was like, it was like, my heart started to pump because I had no idea what was coming next the way he wrote the text. He does that to me all the time. He scares the shit out of me in a text message, and then he's like, "No, no, 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 it's okay." And then you go to call him, and he's like, "I gotta go. I'm like, I'm in a rush. I can't talk right now." And I'm like, "You can't drop bombs like that and then not expect me to give you a call, sir." So anyway, he's doing great. He's funny. He makes me laugh. He's working on his next vid. He pretty much has the football one down. I think he waited for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame vlog because it's gonna be a little bit more tricky because of the music, and he's gotta, weave his way in and out of that. It gives him something to do. Oh, what did I do? See, I have you on my laptop here, and then you're on my phone. So I like to lean in, and then I hit buttons on the laptop. So that's funny. It is funny. He cracks me up. He does. He cracks me up. He makes me laugh. I told him today he was leaving, and I was, he gives, we always say goodbye to one another. You have to say goodbye and give him a kiss, and I have to say I love you and hug and all that stuff, right? All the wife and husband stuff. And I was joking with him today, and I held on to him. I'm like, "Don't leave me, don't leave me." He started laughing. He's like, and the war goes too. I was like, "Don't shut up." All right, we got a couple of things to talk about. There's actually subjects. We're actually in the room today. I thought he was going to do he is going to do overtime, but he's going to start after Caturday. So, which is fine because then that's what I cook. But I thought we were going to be in the kitchen again today, which I'm like, oh, all right, whatever. It did. Like, I love doing it because I multitask and then I'm done and over with. But we'll do that. I got to do that later because he's going to work some overtime. Domestic. Domestic bitches. Why does everything break at the same time? We had to get the new faucet. That was the must. Like, you can't, like the cat box. We had to get that. That was like, there is no thinking about this. You got to find the money for it. The faucet. There is no money. You got to find it. The faucet wasn't bad. His family member's a plumber, so he came over and threw it in for us. We still have to pay him, but, like, he's one of those that's like, yeah, I'll get you the bill, and then we don't get a bill until He did this bathroom, and he just when he came here for the faucet, gave us the bill for the bathroom. So we'll see you in a year. I had to get, and the faucet I bought was like $149. So it wasn't too bad. It didn't break the bank. Now the TV went. My downstairs TV. Football season's getting ready to start. I said to him, I said, you know what? All right, that's fine. We can take that hit. TVs are not that expensive anymore, but it still sucks. We have to buy a new TV because we only have one, and we have to watch basketball. I mean, football. Jeez, oh man, I just rattled them all off. First world problems, right? So I'm vacuuming yesterday because I was off and I did my laundry. I did like stripped the bed. So I'm like, well, while I'm doing all this, yes, football is already, um, preseason starts. I don't know if it starts this week or next week, but so I'm like, let me just like vacuum and all that stuff. I started vacuuming. I get over to his side and I'm coming back to do a second pass. I said, "What is that?" I said, why is this like weird? What's going on?" The next thing you know, it started smoking and I thought it was going to catch fire. My freaking vacuum went. I said, what is going on here? The cat box, the faucet, the TV, and now the freaking vacuum? Come on. I just laughed and I said, well played, God. Well played. I don't know why all these things are going down, but I mean it happens, right? Don't forget his hockey. Yeah, I know. That's why, he's like, well, I'll do some overtime when it rains. Well, I'll do some overtime and, we'll just like, that'll go towards the whatever. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. We got to get it. We got to get it. And he will make sure that TV's there for hockey. What streaming service he's going to use to get, because I just got the cable bill. It's $100.99. It used to be 243. So getting rid of cable did save us money. There was a preseason game on Thursday. Arizona. Okay, then they did start. I didn't know if it was this week or next week. Anyway, whatever. Again, first world problems. Like he's like, we need a clean house. I got one of those rubber brooms for the downstairs. I only have an area rug downstairs because it's all hardwood. So I got one of those rubber brooms, which I feel as though is better than a regular vacuum cleaner. So I don't know why he's stressing out about having a clean house. We have a clean house. We'll be okay. We can get the TV first, and then I can use the rubber vacuum to get the cat hair. We'll be okay. We will be okay. So, and I have the vacuum clean. Like I have a little handheld, like to do around the cat box to like get up the kitty glitter, if you will. Our master shower head is leaking, and the shower pan underneath is leaking into the wall. Oh. You know what? They do say that the newer houses are more of a pain in the ass than anything else. I think the bathroom and the kitchen, having problems in the bathroom and the kitchen are the worst. They're the worst. Luckily, I had a mean. Oh, the dishwasher's broke too. The dishwasher's broke. Whatever. I'm a dishwasher. I wash by hand anyway, so it doesn't matter. They just go in and like get a thorough rinse. So I'm like, whatever. That can stay. We're not worrying about that part. That's been broke for a long time. We need to get our heating system fixed before winter, and we don't have the money. They said around $8,000. I know, it's expensive. I'm not even going to tell you how much I did, but Stephanie, I went through PSC&G. Like they approve everyone, and they use Horizon, the company Horizon, which is very reputable. Like they're very reputable. We didn't have the money to come out of pocket for a new heater, so they replaced my heater and my air conditioning unit and put all new thermostats in the house. And I have a 10-year warranty, which transfers. So if we move within that 10 years, it transfers to the new owner. And we're thinking about moving. So I thought, all right, well, that's good. But it still was like, it was triple that price. I just said, whatever. Like, it is what it is. We need heat and air conditioning. No. Well, they don't make things like they used to. That's for sure. That's for sure. And it's quick, 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 quick. These, these contractors and these builders in areas, they're like, let's do this fast. We got to get this done. We got to put up 100 houses in this neighborhood so they can go and sell for 16 times the price it used to be. For Freon? You know what? What are we going to do? We're just passing through the world. We're just walking on a ball of dirt, passing through. Because in the end, it doesn't matter. I mean, it sucks while you're going through it. It does suck while you're going through it, you know? So, whatever. We have a home warranty and still had to pay. So, the home warranties, I went through that. Like, when I first bought the house, I went and got a home warranty. And I was like, okay, this is cool. Like, my friends were like, yeah, get it. And say the refrigerator goes and they can't repair it or whatever. Like, you use a company that they work with and they'll replace it. You got to pay the deductible, yada, 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 yada. What went? Something went and I needed to use it. And we couldn't find anybody on it was the water heater because Mr. Kazi was like, no, no, no. He spent weeks on that. And they finally paid him because I think because he was such a nudge and called them every day because we had to go out and buy the water heater and his family member came in and put the heating unit. They said, well, he's not a part of our list. And they said, well, you couldn't find us anybody on our list because there was no one in the area. What was I to do? And, so he got the money for the heater, the water heater. So I was like, all right, whatever. He was dead on it too. He was like, I'm not letting them. It was like, I don't know, $300 or something like that. They're not that expensive, but when you get it and have it, like, the labor and all that. And they kept telling him no. He said, no, you're not telling me no. So there's in this area, they got me. I was like, all right, what? And I said, cancel that freaking thing. Cancel it. Paying all this money in and they're not doing anything. Are you crazy? They don't make refrigerators the way they used to. We've gone through 3 in 18 years. My grandparents had the same one forever. I know. What are they called? What the hell are those refrigerators called? I can't. Because when I was going in Liz, I had to walk through the appliance center to get to the faucets. That's the other thing. My house was a flip. So he did everything, like the bare minimum, but it looks nice. I mean, you guys been in the kitchen. My kitchen's nice, I thought it was genius that he actually put he picked out floor tiles and used it as the backsplash. So my whole kitchen, like the backsplash, is actually a floor. It's not, subway tile or anything like that. And I love it. But like the sink and the faucet, it was all like, the cheap one. He wasn't putting any money in that to have like the fancy faucet. So there were two that I could pick from. One looked like I was in the hospital, like, a hospital, like you go and use the bathroom in the hospital. I said, I'm not putting that in my kitchen. And then the other one was like, it was all right. Because they only have the three holes now, like where you get the what are they called? The spigots where you turn the water on and then the actual faucet. So I had to get the only one that would be okay for me. So then I called, our family and he was like, "Did you get all the parts?" Because they're moving away from like the older stuff, what people are doing, and I can't understand these people. Like we went through the paint and we can't return the paint that we got because people get the paint and then they return it, and because it's like oops paint, they go back and they get it because it's at a cheaper price. I can't understand that concept. But they do the same thing with the faucet. They'll go buy a faucet, take all the parts that they need, and then take it back. So he's like, "Did you get it where it's like caged in?" And I said, "Yeah." He's like, "All right, we should be okay." And I was. There was 2. There was only 2 actual faucets. I picked one and I left one on the shelf. So I was glad that we had all the parts. But yeah, they're forcing you into buying like $500 faucets. I understand people are modernizing their home. I get that. But what about the guy like, like me? So, and I did tell him, I said, listen, Mr. Kazi thought this was going to be $400. If we have to get the 3 hole and like, the plate that doesn't like, if I have to go back and get it, I'm not going to be upset. Okay. Okay. And he's like, so what you're telling me is that I should make it not fit and you need to get a new one. I said, I didn't say that. And he left. So when he worked at Sam's, people would buy computers. Why are we doing this? I couldn't sleep at night. I couldn't sleep at night if I did that. I would not be able to sleep at night. Like, because then I'm the one that goes in the store and gets it, and I'm pissed off because I get the wrong deal. That's probably why everything we get is when we tell people they don't do their job. Well, they are doing their job. They're just, returning it and putting it in a new box and not knowing that the parts were stolen. Ay, ay, ay. New washing machines that don't have agitators, I hate them. I will never buy another one. Tater, I have an agitator too. Did you like, because if anything happens like that, I'm gonna go to the scratch and dent. I'm not paying full price for these things, like for a front loader. I'm not doing that. They look great, and don't get me wrong, like, ooh, up-to-date appliances. I'm going right to that scratch and dent. I don't give a shit. My washer and dryer is behind doors. Like, I have a little spot for it. That's all that fits in that closet. I got like a shelf on top. That's it. I don't need all that nonsense. Probably wouldn't even fit there. Give me copper pipe and valves, and Steve and I can create any snicket needed. What's a snicket? Ocean, they really are. They really are. Like, people are just, it's getting worse. I've been talking about this for years, how people are like nasty and like everything's gimme, 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 and me, 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 me. And I'm like, why are we like this? Why are we like this? It's a top loader, but it's new and plays songs and text you and well, that's our cat box. There's a live feed. I'm gonna put tape over the thing because if I go into the app for the cat box, I can go into live and you can see my house. And then it'll say cat detective when the cat walks, cat detected. When you walk through, like when they walk past, it'll give you like a 30-second clip of what the cat did. Now that I know Jack's using a box and he's in there, I don't need them to be watching my house. I don't need that. And it even has a microphone on. Live feed. And not only that, where they look outside to see the cat, there's actually a camera inside to see which cat is in there doing what. So I don't know how to fix that. The cats are just not, they don't have privacy because I don't know where that camera is. But we are going to take care of the one that's looking into the house. It's ridiculous. Are you serious? The Roombas are getting hacked? What? It's a vacuum cleaner. I went on Amazon and I was looking at vacuum cleaners. I'm like, let me just see what's going on. I only have like, we have furniture up here. I only have like the house up here. It's like 500 square feet. I don't need one of these fancy, vacuum cleaners. I just want to push one, like, nothing. They're like anywhere from $59, which I won't buy. That I definitely won't buy. But, like a normal one, like, 120. I think that's what I paid. I don't know. I got to go look. It's probably gone up in price. But I scrolled down and the Roomba was there. It was $889. I said, what? I had one of those. It wasn't a Roomba. I called her Sheila because you're supposed to name your appliances. I called her Sheila and I let her go. But she always got stuck and like it just drove me nuts. When she did work, it was convenient because while you're cooking, it's being vacuumed and it looks good, but I'm not doing that. Like I don't need that. The freaking thing will fall down the steps and then that's it. They have a camera on the front. Oh my god. Why are they watching us like this? They're watching us through the TV. Like, that's what they're watching us. And I'm like, all right, whatever. You're if you see what you don't want to see, then all right. I'm not doing anything. I'm not sharpening knives and plotting out stuff, so whatever. Watch what you want. You want to see my cat shit? Watch my cat shit. You're not overloading. I just hate it. I've paid twice to get it fixed in 6 years. 6 years. I don't want to be talking like we already know the things that have been breaking here. And I expect it because we're on 8 years now, and I don't know exactly what is brand new, So I'm just like, every time I turn the washer and dryer on, I'm like, please just get me through another week. I know, Stephanie. It wasn't that expensive when I bought the first one. The second one, it it was us that broke the first one. I will admit we broke the first one. Mr. Kazi may or may not be a little rough on the robot, okay? So we broke it, we had to replace it, and I was like, ooh, it did go up in price a little bit. And that lasted 6 years. So in 6 years, I'm like, it's probably going to be like $100 more. And then he came and told me the final price, and I was like, you know what? I don't need to know. They just got sick. We just spent money on them being sick with the kitty flu. I don't need to know anymore. I'm done. I'm done. The cats cost us thousands of dollars this year. We have two old Kirby's from 1929 and 1930 with my bocce, and those Bad Johnsons still work great. Is that washer and dryer? I don't know what Kirby's are. But those things, like all the machines back then last forever. I know. Well, Stephanie, here's the thing with the little robot. The old, I do like that the new one is like more sleek and modern. I know it's a cat box. I can't believe I'm describing a cat box like that. But the inside actually spins. The last model we had, it was a globe, and the whole entire globe spun. And sometimes it would get caught and you'd have to like, you just got to make sure that it just stays on track. Every once in a while it would get off track. But then you just take it apart and put it back on its track and it was fine. It lasted us years and years. So I asked them if they still had the model and it's the Robot 3. And they said no, they don't carry that, but some retailers do. So if you look into it, it's the Robot 3, Model 3, and they said it's on Amazon and some pet smarts. So, oh, vacuums. So I don't know. If you want to look into it, and splurge a little bit, I think that one was like 400 or something like that, which is crazy to say about a cat box. But when I got it, I was going through the back thing and it was like a world of difference. With 3 cats having to do the box like 3 to 4 times a day, whatever. I don't have to do that now. Now we go a couple of days and everything's in the bag and it doesn't smell. Doesn't smell. Yes, check Amazon. But you got to look for the Robot 3. 3. It's nice. It's bigger than what I have now, which is why Jack was boycotting. Poor Jack goes in there and his poor head's sticking out and he's just looking around like this is ridiculous. But I'm like, dude, this is where you got to go. All right. Sometimes I don't like where I got to go, but when you got to go, you got to go. So Kirby vacuums are amazing. You can fix cheap. I have a vacuum repair guy up the street here in the neighborhood. My grandmother used to make me take it over to him all the time. I think she got an Orbeck. Is that what she got? She would go over there and he'd fix it for her. She had to like use the belt and the bag and all that stuff, but she loved it. She's like, take me over to the repair guy. I said, okay, I know exactly where it is. While I'm over there, I'm going to go to the barber. I said, okay, I'll sit there and watch. I'll sit there and like, It's all-time barbershop, got the little, you know, striped little spinny thing outside, it's a barber. It's like it's a cute little old town. There are some old side. We got a couple of new restaurants and stuff like that. But getting all kinds of great advice from you today. Oh, well, thank you. I do thoroughly, thoroughly. I'm not ever going back with the robot. I'm not ever going back. And then the other thing too is when I called them because Jack wasn't using it, I said, "Do you have 90 days?" I said, "You can let your cats go to the bathroom for 90 days and then decide that you don't want it." So it's a 90. This is through Whisker. It's called Whisker now. It's the litter robot. I said, "Oh, okay." I said, "And there's a $75 cleaning fee." And he's like, "We hardly ever charge that. Don't ever worry about that. We have to make that because, believe it or not, people send it back with litter and the mess." I said, "People actually put that back in the box with the shit in there and send it back to you guys." He said, "You wouldn't understand how many times that happens." I said, "Are you kidding me? The the poop goes in a bag. Why can't you just throw the bag out? You just put the whole thing in the box and send it back." So if we had to send it back, it would have been $60, which I understand. Okay, fine. Shipping and all that. We got to send it back. But I wasn't sending it back with the cat shit. Jeez, oh man, people. We just talked about how people are like ridiculous. I don't get it. I'll never get it. Thank God we're all like, we're good peeps in here. We don't do stupid stuff like that. Anyway, girl world's on fire right now. I haven't watched too much Rosie because quite honestly, whenever I was like I put it on and I'd be playing my Mahjong. I can't take her voice anymore. I just can't. She's insufferable. That is disgusting, Tater. That is disgusting. I think my guy's name was Nathaniel. Or no, Nathan. I said, "Nathan, you're kidding me. Please tell me you're lying to me right now." He said, "I wish I could, Kim. But I'm not. I'm not." All right. Whatever. My brother's down there. My brother's here because it's, the heat wave. And he needs to be in a cool climate because he's got all kinds of heart conditions. And just to be, I don't want him to be uncomfortable. So he's here he's been here for a couple of days and probably will be here till Tuesday. Anyway, he's down there snoring, snoring. I told him I was, he's burnt cheeseburgers. I kid you not. I was thinking about you this week. I said, "I wonder how she's doing. I haven't seen her in a really long time, but I know you're over there. You're over there all the way across the country, and I understand, but I can't believe you're here because I was thinking about you. I have a story about thinking about someone, and it spun my head. I don't know how you guys are going to feel. Hi, how are you? If you didn't catch the beginning, burnt. I'm down 70. What did we say? 74 pounds. What are we down? I'm down to 235. I have 20 more pounds till I hit my goal. I want to be 215. I just want to be 215. Because I remember when I was 214 and I remembered what I looked like. And I was like, that was healthy. I like that. And sometimes I could squeeze into a 14 depending on the size. But I'm in a 16, 18 now, which is amazing. Thank you. Well, sometimes I'm still like, yeah, but I had the weight loss surgery. And I didn't lose it fast, so I don't look gaunt and like, like I love. We bitched about how it was taking me. So thank you, Nico. So I was like, I'm happy that I lost it slow, even though when I was losing it slow, I was bitching about the whole thing. But I don't know, getting on that scale yesterday, I was like, oh, really? Because we ate like raccoons on our road trip. Every time we stopped to get gas, I ran right in and got us another snack. And I'm like, all right, well, I haven't had this in a while. I'm going to eat this. I know I wasn't supposed to do it, but I did. It was a road trip. My community could definitely use the prayers. Well, we pray over here. What do you want to share, or did you? We were thinking about my city is burning down. Wait, what's burning down? Why are we burning down? Because of weather? Oh my word. One of the things I wanted to talk about, my husband told me last night, is that, and I have it pulled up, that Iran hacked our water, and there's like 11 or 12 states that were involved, and one of them, we have 3 wildfires going at once. Oh my word. Get to safety before it gets too close. Get that little, what did you name the baby? Poe. Get the kitten and get the hell out of there. Seriously. Please. And now you have to come back in next week and let me know how you're feeling. You can't. You can't. There's Ocean, you have fires where you are too? Because you guys aren't in the same state. And I know that Kelly gets them all the time. I was level 3 evacuation zone. I've been downgraded to 2. It doesn't matter. Get the frick out of there. Mr. Cosby's going to get an earful when I see him because I'm nasally. And I'm going to beat him up. And the girl next to me was out all week because she was sick. She came in on Wednesday, hacking and all that stuff. She was afraid she was going to get fired because she just started. And she's like, I just don't want to not, I need the money. And I was like, but you're sick. She didn't last. She left around, I don't know, before 10. I said, you came in for like 45 minutes, you crazy person. It is so scary. It is so scary. It's the weather, right? That's what's causing it. We're safe. It's my error. Oh, yeah. The Red Cross is refusing to help them because they won't leave their homes. But some just can't leave. Oh my gosh. You had fires, but thankfully they acted fast and they were contained. Yeah, because last year there was all that controversy around who's your governor? Didn't he do some shit and he wasn't allowing them to hit the river or something like that? Do I remember that right? Do I remember that right? Because you know me. You didn't derail. We're here to talk about everything. We talk about all kinds of shit. Don't you dare think that you're derailing. And you need prayers. We're over here praying for everyone. We pray. Samantha's out there lurking, listening. We pray for her. I pray for her all the time. We pray for everybody. Yeah, your governor. Is he Newsom? Is your governor Newsom? Because you know I don't play around with the politics. I can't. I just Mr. Cosby tells me what's going on. I know you're in Washington. Oh, you, Bert, I know that we're on a totally different time zone and you got all kinds of things going on. Newsom, yeah. Please, please, you know how to get a hold of me anyway, but please keep me posted on how you are. And I do feel bad for your uh for your clients. Jarella needs prayers too. What's Jarella going through? Oh my god, girls. Girls, guys, everyone. Where's Jarella? Jarella say. Well, that's the Roomba stuff. I'm looking for your icon, girlfriend. You're okay. I thought so. Because you would have told us right away. Okay, sorry. But anyway, you need prayers too. We all need prayers. The heck? Remember last week when I was when I kept dropping everything in the kitchen? I don't know what the hell was going on. Well, after we parted our ways and went, and started our Saturday off, I still had the burgers were still in the oven and all that stuff. So I just had like a couple of things I had to finish up. And I continued to drop shit. When I bent over, I was dropping shit till I was bending over and like, whatever. Like, getting the burgers out of the oven and all that stuff and cleaning up, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what the hell I did, but the left side of my neck, I couldn't move, and the right side of my back. I told Mr. Kazi, I said, my back is killing me. He goes, well, you got everything done. He's like, go take a hot bath. I said, that sounds like a great idea. So I went in, took my hot bath. I was like, doing what I need to do. I couldn't get out of bed on Sunday. He said, do you care if I go to church by myself? I said, absolutely not. So while he was in church, I was watching the live feed. He's like, I'm going to church this week. I said, so am I. I'm not missing church. I was spurging out about Callie last week. Yeah, I've been praying like mad for a good surprise. Well, I know the situation. Everybody knows. I don't want to go into detail in case somebody missed it, but I know your situation. And things are going to work out the way they work out. But I hope that you don't have to go there because I know that that's not somewhere you really want to go. I want to go back to the weight loss. I'm so happy for you. I hope you're feeling better. I am feeling great. I really am. I'm feeling good. My seatbelt is like sitting properly, not properly. It still creeps over my boobs. That's always been my issue no matter what my size is. So I'm just like, if I didn't have the chest, then it would fit and it would be nice, but I'm still constantly maneuvering it. But I'm not, I'm fitting. I feel like I fit better in the mini. I always fit in the mini, but it was like kind of awkward. Like they see this big girl getting out of a Mini Cooper. But now, I feel like I'm okay. I feel like the bucket seat is now hugging me the right way. I feel good. I am getting the saggy skin, but I'm also older and I don't give a shit about that because I'm not wearing bikinis or anything like that. I've always worn like the tankini. Is that what it's called? Tankini? Like the long shirts. And sometimes like I really like the swim dresses. I do. I like the swimsuit dresses. So I got one of those and it kind of covers like the area that I'm like, that, I don't want the public to see. Mr. Kazi doesn't care. Small account. Listen, the thing I love the most is that I can cross my legs and sit under my desk. That is my favorite thing. I was waiting for the doctor yesterday and I was sitting in there and I had my legs crossed. I said, look at me go. That was the biggest that's my one of my favorite non-scale victories is that I can cross my legs. I mean, we're not crossing our legs like Catherine, but we are crossing our legs. I can't cross my legs and tuck my foot under my calf, the other calf. I don't know if I'll ever get there, but I'm good with where I am. Seatbelts never been made for large. Yeah, I know. They, they have it. They just literally have it. But whatever. They keep me safe. I don't know how safe it'll keep me because I've been going over the speed limit. Nico, you would like if you were on duty and saw me going by, you would pull me over. I get in trouble. My husband yells at me. My brother, my coworkers, one of my guys. He saw me. He said, "You whizzed right by me." I said, "I did." He said, "Yeah," and I left. He said, "You were in the lane and then you zipped over and you went into the Home Depot." I said, "Yeah, you did see me because I did go to the Home Depot that day." I have so much loose skin, it's embarrassing for me. I look terrible in clothes. I bet you don't. But, I heard that with that situation, um, some of the surgery is covered by insurance because of hygiene. I'm sure you clean yourself. I'm not saying that you don't clean yourself, but they do cover it because it could cause you know, problems. I've always been heavy chested. The seatbelt gets lost in the cleaning someone of it. I know it's a pain in the ass. I'm constantly pulling the friggin' thing over. I'm like, what the hell? Like, can't you just go over, like in between and go over? Logistically, it makes sense, but it still doesn't do that. Sons of guns. Since I had it done in California, they don't do anything really. Really? I don't know. I don't think who knows who knows where I'll be in December, right? Who knows where I'll be. But I'm okay. I'm okay with where I am. I've always been self-conscious of my arms, so I wear, like, long short sleeves or I'll wear, like, 3/4, so I'm really not I can camouflage that, but that's been my whole life. That was the one thing that I've been self-conscious of. I'm sorry I keep blowing my nose here, but and I'm probably gonna run out of this. I'm getting I'm getting low on the tissues. Gotta get a box of tissues. Isn't that Do we have, like, comfort things in our house? Do you guys have that? Like, I have to have a box of tissues everywhere. I have one downstairs, one in the bathroom, one is on my vanity at all times. And if, like, I'm running low on tissues, I get very upset. Toilet paper, I know we'll get, but when I get run low on tissues, I'm like, you need to like, I can't run out of this. This is when I can't run out of that. You just don't care anymore. I'm gonna wear what I wanna wear. Granted, I'm not wearing mini skirts and bikinis, but I'm definitely not dressing like I used to. The Vaseline lip stuff, it was to be all over. Yeah, we have that. Yeah. I mean, it's fun because we have more. I've never really had a problem getting clothes and looking, like stylish, and I've always gotten classic pieces. So they never really go out of style. It's how you like zhuzh them up throughout the years. Dorella. She doesn't wear the high heels anymore. She can't do the stilettos, but she still wears her sassy outfits, which is good. Comfortable. I never go for style, I go for comfort. Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'm really upset. I'm really upset that my gym pants are like way too big now because the strings are well past gone. Like they were gone weeks into ownership because they're just a pain in the ass. You put them in the wash and then you got to thread it through the hole and then it starts all over again when you wash them. I'm like, you know what? I just ripped them freaking things out. When I bought them, they sat on the hips. Now I could still wear them, but they're like real baggy. Like it's like, you gotta get rid of this. I told Mr. Kazi they're long, like, you can wear them because he don't have a butt. I was like, "Try them, I don't wanna get rid of them, but I wanna replace them because they're my favorite." Like, running around, they're my favorite. Throw a t-shirt on. My t-shirts are getting to be too big, and I'm like, "Well, that's a good thing," but then it looks too big and you look like nobody cares, you know? I'm a flip-flop girl too. I am a flip-flop girl. I will wear flip-flops until it snows. And then I'm back in my sneakers, which reminds me I have to clean my white sneakers. Poopy pants. Built-in pant. Oh. Oh. Yeah, I won't wear shorts. I got one pair of shorts because I thought maybe I would need a pair of shorts for our Philly adventure, but I don't like them. So I'm like, oh, did I get them? Like it was a panic buy. Because that's when I first started buying, like, I first had to, like, "Okay, I can't wear my old jeans anymore. This is, like, there's no way I'm getting around this. We have to get new size pants." So, I panicked. I even tried them on, but I don't like them. I don't like them. And I don't know where the receipt is to return them, so I don't know. I think they were $12, but I don't like to waste money, but I'm like, I can't do this. It was a panic buy. It was the first time I had to go into a new size. It was panic. I panicked. I panicked. Yeah, I haven't walked in heels in I don't know how long. I do have a pair of wedges. right. Like, we all have our lounge things. Like, I love putting those things on and going to the store. I even sometimes wear them to church because, like, church, we don't you're supposed to be look, Mr. Kazi has a whole different take on that. He looks nice when he goes. Like, he'll wear jeans, but he always wears like a nice top. He always looks nice when he's going, like, if he's coming out. If we go out on a date, he's one of those, like, what color are you wearing so we can kind of coordinate. And I'm like, I never had like, we didn't do that in season 1, and I never had anybody since then wanna coordinate with me, but it makes him feel comfortable. I'm like, "I'm wearing navy blue." He's like, "Okay," and he'll find something that, like, we coordinate on. So, I wore, like, my gym pants to church before. I was like and I have a shirt that says, "Faith over fear," so I'd wear that. It's like, so whatever. But, you know, what are you gonna do? Clothes are clothes. We feel comfortable in them, and, that's that. I wore my Nope t-shirt yesterday, so when I was at the checkout in ShopRite, he was like, "Nope, I guess you're done." And I didn't know what he was talking about, and then I realized he was talking about my shirt. Going from a 7-8 XL to a 22-24 feels okay for me for a while. You and Mr. K are adorbs together. I've seen your pics on Instagram. I know. We match. Like, we just match. We look like I don't know. I just feel like we look like, we belong together. Some couples you're like, how'd that happen? Like Remy and Rosie. They don't match. And not because of, like, she's heavy and he's skinny. They just don't look like when you saw them together, I wouldn't think that they're a couple. No shit, no shade. I'm just saying they just don't look like they would like you'd be like, "Oh, they're actually a couple." I wear shorts and t-shirts or a tank 8 months of the year. I hate pants. Too many years working in pants and steel toe. Well, all right, that'll do it. That'll do it. My brother's like making noises. I don't want to. All right, you guys, lean in because this bothers me. It bothers me, and I tell you guys everything. My brother's not. He's not a believer. All right, it's sideshow though. He's not a believer. And that's fine. We try to, we plant seeds. We plant seeds. But he makes the strangest noises when he's sleeping. Like, he argues. I don't know what he's bad on, but he's definitely got something attacking him during his sleep. It's really bizarre. It's really, like, it freaks me. When he started living with me, like, when he first left his wife, I had to text his wife and I was like, look, this is an awkward situation, but I gotta ask you this. Like, does he normally do this, or is there, like, should I be concerned? She's like, no, he's been doing that for years. And she said they say that, people that work in the cemetery at night, like, spirits are attacking them. So if you hear weird stuff in the background, that's it. So last night, me and Mr. Kazi I feel bad telling this story, but last night, me and Mr. Kazi were, no, it's not apnea. It's literal. He's literally being attacked by the enemy. Me and Mr. Kazi he was sleeping, and me and Mr. Kazi were praying, and we're talking about certain things and everything like that. And I said to God, I'm like, please, I said, protect him at night. The more we prayed for him, the louder and more aggressive it got. It's not him. He's a great guy. Like, he's helpful, and he's he's kind to other people. He'll do anything for people. It's when he's sleeping. And I like the more we prayed for him, the more, like, agitated things got. And I said to after we were done praying, I said, "It's because you know, you know." Well, it's not ghosts. You know what it is. I know. And Mr. Kazi's like, babe, he's like, there are more evil spirits at church than they are at the cemetery. The enemy is not attacking dead people. And I said, you know what? You're right. I said, that makes a whole lot of sense. So We did. Our prayer was real long last night. Real long. And it was getting louder and all that. And I felt bad. I'm like, oh my gosh, we're tormenting. And he has no idea. I'm like, do you remember anything when you wake up? And he said, no. What was I doing? I said, dude, I would record you, but I would be embarrassed if someone recorded me at night. So I'm not going to record them. But I'm like, I kind of want to because I need you to know what's going on with you, dude. You need to find God. Like, put the armor of God on and you will sleep soundly. They won't go quietly. And the closer you get to God, the stronger the attack is. Because when Mr. Kazi, like, I've always been a believer. We all know that I've been a believer. And, God is my homie, right? I shouldn't probably say homie with God, but you know what I mean. And so when I started to get into the Bible and read more into the Bible, the more I became unbearable. And my husband, thankfully, is like, the closer you get to God, the stronger the attack. And I was like, all right, well, at least I know to, like, that's what I pray for. Keep the enemy away. Yeah, I just believe it's the enemy attacking him. I'm like, dude, you need to find Jesus and stop cursing on God's name. So he knows not to do that in front of me. But he sees, like, like, I just feel bad for the guy. Like, he's never. One day, I'm hoping that he turns around and he finds him because he will. We grew up, like, we all my cousins, my grandparents, we all talked about God. So I don't know. Say a prayer for my brother. 'Cause he's tortured at night. He's really during the day, he's fine. Like, yesterday, he came home from shopping, he's like, "Why didn't you call me?" I said, "For what?" He's like, "I would have come get the groceries for you. You're cooking for me. I could at least do that." I said, "It's alright. I don't need it." It's kinda like my exercise and my weights. I'm like, carrying my weight. And he's like, so then I'm cooking, and he's like, I know you make a mess when you're cooking, because I get the trash, and he's like, I'll get started on the trash. I fed the cats already, like because he's great, he's like staying around, and he wants to, like, earn his keep, I guess. I don't know. It's scary, 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 Joelle. And again, that I was I don't wish that I would record them, but because that would be embarrassing. But it's truly it's wild. It's absolutely wild. I feel bad. He's down there grunting and growling like a bear. I don't mean to tell your business, but I just wanted you to know that if, like, you heard something in the background, we don't have a wild animal. We don't have a wild animal going on. Ugh. He scares me. Anyway, we pray for him. So one day, I hope one day, before it's too late. Before it's too late. That's the other thing. Like, I think, like, if you're not a believer and you don't accept, right? Like, I don't want to get into this whole, like, no madness, preachy type kind of thing. Because we all talk about, like, every once in a while. But do you think, like, because, we ask for forgiveness every day because we sin every day, right? Do you think at the end, I always wondered this because I don't know. Do you think that we get one last final chance to, like, ask for my mask? I must have slept hard. Do you think we get one final, like, right before? Do you think we get one final chance at, like, accepting so that we can, live eternity peaceful? There's no glasses in heaven. Even though I like my glasses, there's no glasses in heaven. Possibly. Do you think? I'm hoping. I'm hoping because I don't I don't know. I don't know. I mean, Jeffrey Dahmer and the son of Sam, what the hell was his name? The hell was that guy's name? Berkowitz? Like, they wound up finding Jesus, and they were, they were accepted because they found Jesus. All right, let's get off this topic because I'm gonna start to get upset because I'm gonna go down there and I'm gonna beat the hell out of him and tell him he better start. I'm gonna beat him with a Bible. And I know you're not supposed to do that because it'll run him away. But I feel like beating him with a Bible. He's my brother. I should. If you're above ground, you have the chance. Okay. All right. I try, but I can't seem to quite get to believe. It's like my head and my heart are at war. I need more Bible study, I guess. Stephanie, that's like what I just said. The closer you get to him now, the more it attacks you and it confuses you. Just stay with it. Stay with it. You'll be fine. Stay with it. It's actually cool. It's when you start like really getting into it, you realize that like a lot of these stories that are being like, talked about like in Hollywood and stuff like that, they're picked from the Bible. Like some of the storylines are picked from the Bible. I love it. All right, Bert, you better stay safe and please keep us updated. Like please, you know how to find me. So just keep me updated. Have a good day, and I hope your clients are safe and you are. Love you. All right. Okay. Let's talk about some stuff because I did treat myself to something yesterday. I was so angry at the friggin' last week I spent $142 in groceries and I got the same damn thing. I got instead of plums, I got peaches. This week I got the plums. But I got the cherries, the bananas. He asked for 2 avocados, so that wasn't that expensive. I got mushrooms. Like I got everything I needed to in the produce section, and I went and picked up the meats. I'm making chicken Florentine for the guys this week. So that's going to be fun. It's different. So that was the only like extra purchase that I had to get. I had the meats and my steak and all that. Like it's the same thing. Last week I spent $140, $142. This week I spent like 100 and it was like 170 or something. But then it all came out to $180 because I went and I treated us to something, which is why I said it's the 90s. Son of Sam was David Berkowitz. Yeah. You interviewed him for a study with the FBI? Ooh. Mm. Did you watch Mind Hunters? That show that was on Netflix? I'm so mad they didn't do a season 4. That was a great show. That's binge worthy if you have not watched it. That was a fantastic show. I mean, a fantastic show. Didn't get in. It didn't get into all like Mr. Kazi. This is. Oh, he made my coffee. I'm grateful. Um, it didn't like veer off, and there was like a love. I mean, there was kind of like a little flirty thing, but it didn't get sexual and all that. Like you're into a show, and then the next thing you know, you're there watching like a sex scene. I get so uncomfortable doing that. Like, why do we have to do that? Well, yeah, we get it. They're like, they're flirting with one another. They get together, like, okay, you're smooching and all that, but I don't need to see all the other stuff. Like, it just gets on my nerves. Anyway, Mindhunters is a great show. So. I splurged because I was aggravated at how much my groceries spent and like went up, and I got the same damn thing basically at the store. I didn't even get like my popcorners. Because usually I get a box of them for my lunches. I still have some, so I didn't need to get them. But I got this. We got a magazine again, and it's the 90s. It's a special edition. So I thought we would go back in time. We could talk about some of the things that we saw in the 90s. Ocean, I'm sure you're going to know some of these people. You know Jennifer Aniston. Everybody wants Jennifer Aniston haircut. Ah. You studied under John Douglas and Robert Rissler. Interviewed several out of their characters. Oh my God, yes. I did. I was so pissed off because, like, remember we were doing, like, the website because I found, like, a better deal on the website and it only cost me cheaper than how I was, what I was spending in the magazines. Well, this one, they said I saw this, it was the only one there. I actually had to go to a different line because I caught this while I was walking by. And I said, you know what? I'm going back and I'm getting that damn thing. And then it told me it was a special edition. I'm like, well, what the hell's a special edition? Not that you guys need to know, but I thought I'd share. It was freaking $14.99. I said, people's got the balls to charge at $14.99 for this. It better be good. You never heard of her. She's on Ocean. She's on Friends. What the heck? She was Rachel on Friends. She got together with Ross. Iconic. So on here it has like Toy Story, Jim Carrey, The Mask. It's got the Olsen twins. It's got Alicia Silverstone, um, Leonardo, Whitney, Celine, Denzel, and what's her name? This one. She played Elaine in Seinfeld. Friends was one of your favorites back in the day? You never watched Friends. I don't do sitcoms. Ugh. $2, I know. I'm old. I know who they are. My daughter was born in 93. Yeah. So I thought we would just go back and look. Now, the thing is like, it's not like your regular, like, cheap magazine. It's a little bit sturdier, so I guess that's why they figure they can get away with charging us that much more. Because they're usually $6.99. I was like, what? Now, I do appreciate Mr. Kazi buying me the royal one. So, and that was a little bit expensive, but and I appreciate that because that was tucked Nisa, and I don't be, stuffed animals and magazines. I don't be keeping them around because they're just dust collectors, and I feel like you don't need that. Okay, so a celebration of the decade. They were on a break. Co-stars Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet paused between scenes while filming the Titanic came out in 19. Yeah, I guess it did. 1997. How are we going to do this? It's been a while. This is when they were at the Titanic. Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Thank you. Thank you. The Titanic came out in 97. 90 freaking 7. I guess it was because Mr. Kazi wanted to go to the movies with me. All right, we're going to have to get another box of tissues. I'm going to have to like pause everything. I have 2 more. Your favorite movie was Baby Boomer, and my kid's favorite movie was Encino Man. Probably not spelled right. I don't think I know them. I probably if I saw it. Um, I was going to talk about how Iran attacked our water supply, but I think that might be a little. the- Do we know about that? Do you know about that? Like a little sidestep. Because Mr. Kazi told me about it last night, and the reason he told me is because it's in Hamilton, New Jersey, which is not too far from us. I mean, it's far enough. Like it's like 40 minutes for me, probably. But I didn't know that it was that close. I was like, oh my word. And there's one in Georgia. They attacked somebody in Canton, where like, near Atlanta. So I was like, holy shit. Encino Man, that's Pauly Shore. Oh, okay, then I do know. I do remember that. So we were going to talk about that, but I'm like, you know what? Let's talk about the 90s. We were just talking about spirits and everything. I have to, there's like 11 states, they said. I'm like, what? Michigan. I'm like, what is going on? In Michigan, they had a boil the water um, alert. Like you had to boil the water before you used it. And now this is in Hamilton, which again is not that far from me. And he said something, it was in Gloucester. So I'm in the county in between Gloucester and where Hamilton is, which freaks me out. Like, wait, hold on, what? And then I was going to talk about Perez Hilton. But that is, I don't think I want to talk about that. We already talked about the heavy stuff. Stephanie, thank you for the spelling. Anyway, I'm gonna walk away. I gotta go get tissues. Okay, everybody, hang tight. I will be right back because I literally need tissues. I'm gonna kick his ass when he gets home. Okay, I'm not gonna hug him. Oh, hi, baby. Okay, box secured. Let's put that there because we still have two left. Um, that whole Perez Hilton. You have me singing George George of the Jungle. Oh, really? Where's is that from one of those movies? So Mr. Kazi wanted to go to the Titanic. He wanted to see Titanic with him. And I was like, okay. And he was a butthead back then. He'll admit it. So we were supposed to go, and he wound up like blowing me off, like for some whatever, like, I guess a gig. And so I went with my other brother, who I'm not very close with. In fact, I'm not close at all. But we went. I don't know how he and I went because he wanted to see it. So me and him went, and it was so packed we had to sit at the front. And I was sitting there watching that movie. We were both blubbering at the end. So then, like the next week, Mr. Kazi's like, okay, let's go to the movie. I had to pretend that I never saw it before. I had to pretend. And I felt bad. I mean, he knows that I went to see it with my brother first before him now. But back then, I felt really bad. I was like, I just lied to this man. Anyway. Oh, no. Okay. This is a blast from the past. Let's get to it. Madonna performed Vogue at the 1990 MTV Video Music Award in the 18th century finery of a gown worn by Glenn Close in Dangerous Liaisons. I hope nobody watched that Perez Hilton. Yeah, they told you not to go looking for it. Like, they just don't go looking for it. All right, do you see the Madonna? Oh, crap, I'm not even on the StreamYards to see if I got it. Remember this? Come on, Vogue. Oh, Jarelli, it is. Jarella. This is when MTV Music Awards were worth watching. I don't watch that shit anymore, and I don't watch the Grammys. And I don't watch that shit anymore. Like, especially now after we found out all the stuff about Diddy and what they're doing over there in the music community. What it was like in the 90s. Mom, what were you like in the 90s? How did that become a big question of the spring 2026? I guess all the moms that have babies in the 90s are now asking these questions about how. Like, you're taking over everything. They're doing things like the Friends is being replayed. Seinfeld is being replayed. Watch what we were doing. So did I. I always watched the VMAs. We got MTV in '86, and I watched it nonstop until 1998. That's not what's wrong with you. That's when MTV was MTV. I remember the first season of The Real World. Oh, I misunderstood too. I thought you meant the press. But I remember the Madonna thing. I guess it's probably easier if we do this. Kim, use your head. Google's our friend. Madonna at the VMAs doing Vogue. Now, we can't. They do have a video of it, but we can't do that. And has anybody seen Madonna lately? Like, she really just needs to retire. Let's retire, okay? We got some images of the 90s here. Madonna through the years. Here we go. That's when she first started out in 84. Brad! What are you doing, Brad? Where are you at? What state are you in? So this was the video. This was her doing the video of Vogue. And I'm not going to lie. She was beautiful. Please retire. She was really beautiful. Desperately Seeking Susan. I mean, it wasn't a great movie, but because like Madonna was like, up and coming, we had to watch it. And this is her at the, let me, This was like scenes from that. This was when music was good, in my opinion, right? That's when music was good. I mean, I guess we can say that it was kind of like sexual, but not really. I mean, there was like like subtle hints of it. At least I think so. When Madonna came on the scene, things got a little racy, but for the most part. Uh and then George Michael came out with the song I Want Your Sax. So the yada yada years. There's the Seinfeld. Remember George licked the stamps? Was it the fiance? She was licking the wedding invitations, and she died because she was licking the envelopes. Okay, it says Seinfeld the contest. The premise was practically non-existent. A comedian. Look at how small this font is. If we bought this magazine, if we purchased this magazine, people, why do you have the font like that? Look at how freaking small it is. I gotta take my bifocals off to read the damn thing. Lilith! My best friend looked just like Madonna when she was in her age in the 90's, and now she looks way better than my. Well, I mean, yeah, when you pump yourself with formaldehyde, you kind of defeat, being natural. All right, literally, my bifocals can't read this. Where were we? The three equally uh neurotic pals, George Costanza, Elaine Bennis, and Cosmo Kramer, and they tell the names, confront them. I can't read, it's literally this small. I can't read the freaking thing. I literally can't see it. I have to go like this. Look at how close I have to go. What the hell? We're just gonna have to talk about it. It was a show about nothing. That was the show. Who did it? Larry David. Damn it, Jenna! Hello. Those of us who were around in the 90's need bigger print. It's really bad. Like, this is I should actually write people and tell him, I am 54. I grew up in the 90's. I chose to spend $15 or $14.99 plus tax on your freaking limited edition, and you go and put small font? Kidding me? You know what, I should. Let's do it. I told you about the story when my grandmother wrote a letter to Fleischmann's, the Fleischmann butter. She was so mad her cookies didn't turn out right, and she knew exactly why. The fat content was changed. She wrote them a letter. She wrote a very lengthy letter, and then they wound up sending her coupons in the mail because they read her letter. She said, "Why do I need those coupons? I ain't buying that stuff anymore." She said, "The ShopRite brand has the fat content that I need." I said, "Okay, okay, Francis." So anyway, this was the show about nothing. Seinfeld. Did you guys watch Seinfeld? I watched it, but then veered off. And over the years, I've caught the reruns. But I wasn't had to sit down and faithfully watch it. I was more of a soap opera girl, like Knots Landing, Dallas, Falcon Crest. Um, Knots Landing was my favorite. Dallas, I did like Falcon Crest. And then what was the other one that I watched? Melrose Place. Like, those were like my shows. The sitcoms I did watch. I did watch Friends. Like, I do know Friends. That's what you've watched and rewatched many times. Yeah, Mr. Cosby's always down there, and I hear him laughing. He's either watching The Office or Seinfeld. Drag him, Kimmy. I'm telling you, like, this is a bunch of bullshit. Oh, Beverly's 90210. You know Brenda, Luke Perry, R.I.P. Melrose. Okay, so this one is Beverly Hills 90210. and then Melrose, and Saved by the Bell. I didn't watch Saved by the Bell. I didn't watch Saved by the Bell. Is that the one with Screech? I think that I didn't watch that because he got on my nerves. I don't think that's the one I didn't watch. Yeah, it was Screech. He got on my nerves. And look, Screech, that's him, the tall guy in the back. Now I'm looking at him and his facial features back then, like, now I don't know what he looks like because I don't pay attention to that kind of stuff. He looks like Greg. We all know who Greg is in the girl world community, right? This new guy that came on, he's now Peanuts Peanuts co-host. Greg, I think he's similar to Greg. And that's not going to focus. I kind of feel like there's similarities. So, Beverly Hills 90210. Like, I literally am pissed off I can't read this. Does anyone born after 1999 even remember summer reruns? Just as school was getting out, programs that had just aired their May finale would then replay the previous season. I don't remember that. Not Greg. I'm sorry, but he does. Screech died. Oh, I think I read that. Didn't he? Did he? Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Was it a rug problem? Did he do the OJ? Accurate 100%. We watched more movies than TV shows. What is it? M6. Hi, Angel. We're sitting here listening. We're reminiscing on the 90s. Welcome in. Welcome in. I'm just over here in my PJs. Now, because this is your first Caturday, full disclosure, I wear my pajamas. I only brush my teeth and we drink coffee. Okay? That's how we are over here. That's how we are. Wait, where did you watch Save 90210? Wait, where's Taters? We watched more movies than TV shows when my kids were growing up. My aunt owned the video store, so. Oh. Oh. Ooh, fancy owning the video store. Like Blockbuster? Because we had like a Blockbuster and then we had a mom and pop where if they didn't have it at Blockbuster, we would ride over to the mom and pop and see if we could get that. Sounds good to me. It's the truth. And then we all go about our Saturday after I told you, we chit chat over coffee. Okay, so Melrose was my show. I loved Melrose. When Kimberly, her name was Kimberly, she was the redhead. When she took her wig off and she had that big scar, everybody was like, that was the most shocking thing. It was that was, the most shocking thing on TV at that time. And everybody was talking about Kimberly's head and the scar. Kimmy is the best, along with the kitty visits. Yeah. Mr. Kazi didn't technically make his side of the bed, which drives me nuts, but we'll talk about that. There's, you don't need, that's not your business. But so he's got a little, his comforter is a little, messy, and she's plopped right in the middle of it. Right in the middle. So we probably won't see her. We already saw her once. She probably won't come back. So Heather revs up Melrose Place. Now, Heather Locklear, and Allison. Oh, my word. This is bringing back. Now I got to see if they have. Well, what am I talking about? I don't have a freaking TV. It broke. A grown-up spinoff of 90210, Melrose Place, a Fox series about young adults living in an LA apartment complex, started out earnestly with plot lines about making rent and studying for the GED exam. Toward the end of the first season, the show was kind of limping along. Courtney Thorne Smith, you remember her? she had some controversies during the show. Uh, Told people at a 2026 reunion, enter Heather Locklear as Amanda Woodward, who, as critic Tom Gallardo put it, patrols the fish tank like a blonde barracuda, scavenging the sea and for sex and trouble. She brought in an element we really needed, the villain and her energy. Now, look, I watched the Melrose, okay? And it was kind of cool because it was like, oh, look at the apartments they're living in. And there's a pool right in the middle of it. Da, 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 da. But when Heather Locklear came in, things really started to spice up. That was fun. Oh, you guys, I should save this for the end because I can ramble on and on and on and on about Sex in the City. And it's a Mr. Kazi thing, too. Living single proved you gotta have friends. Oh, I remember Living Single too because Queen Latifah. I love her. Remember this show? Remember that show? You liked Melrose Place better than 902. Now listen, I still watch the 90210, but I did like Melrose Place better because I think because I was older, but then I was also still that age where I was like into like, but then like, the Brenda and the Luke thing. Brandon, like I did watch both of them, but I think I did like Melrose Place better. So living single proved you gotta have friends. I literally look at this font again. The font I can't be reading with my old eyes. What the hell? Six neighbors living in New York in their 20s, navigating career, romance, friendship in 93, a year before those six other young urban professionals planted themselves on that orange coffee shop couch. Wait, hold on. What did that say again? Oh, so Living Single was out 1 year before Friends came out. Okay. So where did I leave off? I literally can't read this font and I'm really pissed. I am going to write a letter to people. It's got to be done. Like this just isn't fair for our age and for the money I paid for it. I'm literally livid. Okay, so Living Single began a 5-year run on Fox celebrating the way 20 somethings out on their own form a chosen family. Then, just 27 herself, series creator Yvette Denise Lee broke new ground with an all black lead cast playing pals in Brooklyn Brownstone. Editor Khadija James, who was played by Queen Latifah, also provided the show's theme song. I bet she did. I bet she did. I love Queen Latifah. I literally am really pissed off I can't read this. Who also provided the show's theme song, receptionist and aspiring actress Sinclair James Jones, lawyer Maxine Shaw, gossipy boutique buyer Regina Hunter, handyman Overton Wakefield Jones, and stockbroker Kyle Baker. There was a void in television landscape back then, not just in black television, but overall. Fields told people in 2023, we weren't trying to be a great black show. We were trying to be a great show, period. I remember that show and I loved it. And on the sixth day, God created Jersey. Happy Caturday. Coming in like crazy person. All right, so then the other page is the Sex in the City. Now we all know how I feel about the Sex in the Cities. Sex in the City is, I can go on and on and on about it. We all know that like it was on HBO. So it was Sex in the City, and then The Sopranos came on, and then Oz. You guys remember the show Oz about like the prison? I would have to. I'd have to bribe Mr. Kazi to watch Sex in the City with me. And then he thought that if he watched Sex in the City with him, it would be, or if he watched it with me, then I would have to watch The Sopranos with him. I don't think back then he realized how much I loved The Sopranos, but I just wanted him to watch Sex in the City with me. Not for any nefarious reasons, but just because I needed someone to talk about it with. The Oz, yeah, Oz was good. That was kind of raunchy. That was like kind of that that was the 90's Orange is the New Black, right? They were both prison and they were both like, whatever. Kim Cattrall, yes. Kim Cattrall. Well, she's a troublemaker and she's the reason why, part 3 didn't come out. Kims are a problem in general. Friends. I might remember Pivot. Remember? I think I might remember this photo. I'm not sure if I do. Remember when they were moving the couch and Ross just kept saying, pivot, pivot on the stairwell? My first back surgery in 2020. I had to go get like some x-ray or whatever, and they had me in the hospital bed, right? And they were moving me, you know how they do. So there was like, they put me in the room and there was like, I don't know if there was another person or the room was tight or whatever. And the guy's trying to figure out how to get me in. And I just kept screaming, pivot, pivot. And the guy in the other room that was actually taking the x-ray, I guess, whoever he was, he started laughing so hard. He came out and he's like, I had to see who said that. He's like, you made my night. It should have been, we're going to fight, Jenna. No. Mr. Big. Was always Mr. Big. Do you still watch shows regularly now? The only thing I don't like to miss these days is WWE. No. No, I watch YouTube. Unfortunately. That's my brain rot. They don't make TV sitcoms like they used to. I mean, technically, like the newer sitcom show is The Office. So I think is the only one. And I'm telling you, he'll be down there listening to that stuff and I hear him laugh so hard and I'm like, all right, it's either The Office or Seinfeld. We'll fight. And Mr. Big, he was an ass. But here's the thing, Jenna. Like growing up watching it, and it was just my favorite show because I thought here this is how I think about Sex in the City. There's 4 girls, 4 characters, right? And they're all different. Like you got Miranda, who's the brain, and she's got like the fancy job. She's the lawyer. Then you have Charlotte, who just wants to be a wife and a homemaker and have babies. And then you have, Samantha, who's like, you know, she's a sex pest. And then Carrie, who's like the stylish one and wants to like, be the socialite and, da 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 da. I always thought that every woman is kind of like has all 4 of those characteristics in them. So like I could identify with each individual. Samantha not so much cuz like she did too much. But like we're women, we're growing up. So I always thought we were like I thought women our own like me like could identify with all 4. And then you had Mr. Big. And at that time, I was with Mr. Kazi back the first season. We call it season 1. So back then, he would like, love bomb me, not love bomb me in a bad way, but like we would be together and then he would break up with me and he would break my heart. And then we would get back together again and he would do the same thing. This went on for 7 years until we started living together and we got like, we were a little bit like, you know, steady. And then he wound up leaving me like he did her, and I just thought, "Okay, well, this is my life." And then 20 years later, Mr. Kazi comes back. I always thought of him as my Mr. Big. So that's why. That's why. I watched that show when it first started because the women were kind of hot. Jersey. Jersey's the bad one of the bunch. But that's why I love Sex in the City so much. And I just, because I can relate. And whatever episode you put on, I can quote word for word. Okay, well, you can relate. I would have. I know, but I knew Mr. Kazi was the one. He took 20 years to realize it. Okay, so this page is ER, Twin Peaks, The X-Files, and Law and Order. Now, Law and Order's still going on, or they have a 24-hour station dedicated just to them. But I didn't watch ER. I didn't watch Twin Peaks. I knew everybody talked about it, but I didn't watch it. The X-Files I didn't watch because I was just like, that's just way too weird for me. And Law and Order, Mr. Got Mrs. Sick, not cool. Stay away from him. Who? My husband? Yeah. I think, and like, I'm just getting a little stuffy in the nose, and I don't feel like dealing with that bullshit. You love the X-Files? See, I didn't watch it because what was it about? The Truth Is Out There went the catchphrase for this addictive 1993 foray into the paranormal. I think that's probably why I didn't watch it because it was like I knew that it had to deal with aliens and the paranormal, right? Didn't it have aliens in it? Yeah. See, I knew some of it. Fox Mulder, a conspiracy theorist and a realist, M.D. Dina Scully, took on extraterrestrials and burned up the screen with cool chemistry. Creator Chris Carter dubbed Mulder after his mother's maiden name and Scully for an LA Dodgers announcer, Vin Scully. Equal parts of both characters. Well, see, I can relate to that. He told people in 95, I'm a skeptic like Scully, but I'm also ready to be enraptured like Mulder. Okay. Now we're over here. We got a cat with a tinfoil hat. So I mean, I'm in. And maybe if I gave it another go. Now I did watch a few X Files shows. Oh, how I love that show. I'm all into the paranormal and fringe stuff. Yeah, back then I've always been like, I don't want to get into the spooky stuff because then I get scared. I'm a scaredy cat. So I guess back then I thought it was scary and I didn't feel like, I was like, that's not for me. I watched Friends and Melrose Place and Sex and the City. But like when we were in the band stuff, me and Mr. Kazi, we would, I mean, obviously we knew a lot of people, because they were in bands, duh, and we were promoters. And the one guy, he would talk about the X-Files. And like, I don't know what day it was on, but it was always like, it was around the day where we would always have like, it was like Friday or Saturday, we would have our band stuff. So I don't know if it was on like a Sunday or if it was on Thursday and he was talking about the show or whatever. And I'm just like, oh, you watch the X-Files? You love the X-Files, but I never liked those medical dramas. Yeah. I never got into ER. I didn't get into Scrubs. I didn't get into all that stuff. I didn't, yeah. I was like, what was I doing that I didn't get into I guess working. It wasn't as bad as the Twilight Zone. That was creepy. Twilight Zone. Now that goes way back. I like the newer mid dramas. Never got in ER. So what are you talking about? Like House? Because I didn't watch House. The one newer, like, kind of soap, if you would call it that, I watched was 24. Remember that with Kiefer Sutherland? Even my grandmother watched that. She's like, "Oh, and my aunt Darth, she would watch that too." I'm like, "Look at these little bitties. They were like damn near 80 years old. And they were like, we got to hang up. 24's on. And then as soon as the show was over, they'd get right back on the phone and talk about the episode. No, not House. Yeah, they cracked me up. And they watched Two and a Half Men. I was like, that's a little risque for you, Francis. You're over there watching that? Our son Jeff would watch it and needed to be de-spooked before he went to bed. Why'd you let him watch it? Now we're getting into the talk shows. Oh, and here's Murphy Brown. Ellen. Susan Lucci. Susan Lucci's portrayal of All My Children's conniving Erica Kane had made her arguably TV's reigning soap opera actor, and it most celebrated loser. 18 times Lucci had been nominated for a Daytime Emmy, and 18 times she had gone empty. But in 1999, Best Actress presenter Shamar Moore, oh, I loved him, proclaimed, "The streak is over, Susan Lucci." The crowd at Madison Square Gardens Theater stood and cheered. My husband swept me up in his arms, Lucci told People. And I asked him, did they really just say my name? Is it okay to go up on stage? That's funny. So how much further? So the talk shows, Jerry goes low, Oprah goes high, Ricky Lake reinvents herself. Does anybody remember when Ricky Lake had the gastric bypass? Wasn't it her? Or was that the Wilson sister that actually had it, like she actually recorded it, like filmed it. So everybody could see what that's when it was gastric bypass. It was before like the new one, the sleeve and the lap band. I remember that. Now, I can't remember. I swore it was Ricky Lake. And Rosie. Now, I can't stand that Rosie O'Donnell. She can go. I liked her when she was on VH1. And as soon as she left VH1, she turned into somebody I did not like. I was like, you know what? You can go kick rocks. Right. Shamar Moore. Rawr. Good doc. Okay. Scrubs, Good Doctor, Code Black, The Pit. Okay. I just know Scrubs. I think I heard a Good Doctor. I didn't hear Code Black or the Black. What is Code Black? What is Code Black? I know like Code Blue, Code Red. If you're in the hospital. Look, this one time my dad was in the hospital and I went, he was in ICU. And my dad had heart failure and he was constantly over there. Like he had all kinds of stuff. So this one time I was over there, we were like, we went to the hospital because he was in like ICU and they're like, like he can only have certain visitors at a time. I'm like, okay, we'll wait in the waiting room. And we heard Code Blue and all the alarms went off. Oh my God. I thought, I'm not going to see my dad. I thought it was him. It was somebody else, unfortunately, but I thought it was my dad. My dad eventually passed because of his heart problems, and that's it. Like, I'm okay. I'm okay. Okay. We're okay. We're okay. He's in a better place, not dealing with all the nonsense he has. But that scared the shit out of me. So, and I say all that because I know I don't know what Code Black means. We're going to have to put a pin in this because now we're going to start to get into like Full House and all of these shows. Like, I'm glad we bought this magazine. I'm like really pissed off about this font. But let's show, like, these are the talk show people. Like, well, we all know Oprah. There's the Ricky Lakes. There's the Rosie and the Springer. I mean, we all know who Oprah and Jerry Springer are. But it's a blast from the past to remember that Rosie O'Donnell had her own show, kind of like the Ellen Show, and Ricky Lake. Like, that was kind of... Carney Wilson. Okay. All right, Brett. That's what I don't know. Google's our friend, Kim. I'm not sharing it. Wait, hold on. Get out of there. All right. Okay. Now, technically, I did not know this. Jennifer Holliday underwent the surgery around 1990 after reaching a peak weight of 340 pounds, later noting she was a true pioneer of the procedure in the public eye. Now, I had no idea. I thought it was Ricky Lake. I'm completely wrong. It was Carney Wilson. The Wilson Phillips singer had her highly publicized gastric bypass in 1999. Wow, 1999, and was one of the first to comprehensively document the journey for media outlets. And then we had Al Roker, the Today Show weatherman, famously underwent the procedure publicly in 2002. So it was Carney Wilson. Yes. She's the one that I didn't know Jennifer Holliday had it, but I only first heard about it, I guess, because she recorded everything. And then here I am, 24 years later. Hairspray on Broad. She did do Hairspray. I remember that. I mean, I don't know. The only thing I remember TV, it's like daytime TV, was the daytime soap operas. I would come home and we didn't do General Hospital in my house. We did All My Children, The Young and the Restless, and Another World. And there are not too many people remember Another World, but that was on like Channel 3, which I don't even know what Channel 3 is. ABC? No, that's not ABC. NBC, I think. Channel 3. In my area. I think it was NBC. Anyway, so we're going to put a pin in this because we have a ton more. But we got a magazine, and I don't want to rush through the magazine because, we need things to talk about. But we did the Susan Lucci, and then Ellen comes out. The puppy episode was code name for the April 30th, 1997 entry of Ellen DeGeneres' self-titled sitcom, in which she dropped a bombshell. Why can't I just say the truth? I mean, be who I am. Bookseller Ellen Morgan inadvertently asked Laura Dean Susan over an airport loudspeaker, "Susan, I'm gay." That month, real life Ellen came out to Oprah on her talk show, and in Time's iconic cover story. In 2015, a study found that DeGeneres had done more to influence Americans' attitudes about gay rights than any other public figure. The next year, President Barack Obama awarded her the nation's highest civilian honor, the Medal of Freedom. NBC was 3. Okay. All right, we got to put a pin in this one. We got to put a pin in this. Oh, I wanted to show you guys this too. These are going to be our book watch. I never watched any soap operas. No, not any. All right, so I put these off to the side and we didn't talk about it. We didn't talk about this at all. I did 2 kamikazes. Okay. We're going back to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. We're all over the place here, wrapping everything up. There's still not, the Royals are on the holiday. So there's not much to talk about. There's no sightings of Catherine. So this was my first one because I didn't know what the hell I was doing, and I was like, okay, let me just do this. You have very little to choose from, but in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, they allowed you to make your own stickers, like customized stickers and stuff like that. And remember, Mr. Kazi's going to edit it. I have one for you guys. But this was the first one I made. It just says Kimmy Kazi. It's like blue and it just says Kamikaze. Because again, this is the first go. I had no idea. And then I realized it was free. And then I realized, well, there's nobody around. I could sit there and do these all day long. So then because I was at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I did this one. A guitar. Again, you didn't really have much choice. Uh, Kamikaze, under the guitar, the banner says "Girls Rock the World." So that was, I was like, all right. And then I'm like, well, now we got to invite, we got to start doing stuff for the Caturday crew. So I did this one, and it says Caturday Crew, Girls Rock the World. Now, guys, I didn't disclude you because I had no choice of what I could put on there. But I just wanted to make you guys this. And then this one is just like, I was new at the sticker making, so we just got that. Now, where the hell I'm going to put these, I have no idea, but we have them. We got them. They're somewhere. And then I made this one because I was like, it's 250th anniversary of the country, so I made this for us. The American flag. Okay. You guys, I think about you guys everywhere I go. So we got those stickers. Again, I don't know where they're going to go because it's not like I sticker things up. Maybe I'll sticker but I'm not going to put all of them on my laptop. Like, I don't know. But they're there. And if I go somewhere on the next trip, maybe I can sticker something without being a litter bug and being illegal. I like how you signed all our names at the end. Yes, of course. I'm like those kinds of things. You guys are like going to see the video. Why wouldn't I include you guys? Right? That would be rude of me. That would be rude. But I did the Independence Hall thing. I knew that I could like write everyone's name like individually. The stickers I couldn't. And then what would I do? Like I would have Tater. Like I would just have a sticker of Tater. Well, what would I do with that? I'm not asking you for your address. I mean, for crying out loud, we're not like that. We get together on Saturday. I'm not asking you for your information. That's weird. I Well, there are some creators that do get addresses because of merch, and then they wound up doxing everybody. I would never do that. Can you turn them into a magnet for your fridge? I'm not a magnet fridge kind of girl, but Mr. Kazi's been like getting, like we did do a 250th because I thought that was special. And then when we went to Philly, there was a cheesesteak magnet, and I said, I will let you have that. That was definitely an original looking magnet. So, but then I have like an Eagles one, but it's a chip clip, so I just put it there so I don't lose it or break it. So I don't really do magnets, but maybe I could do a Caturday one. That would probably be a good idea. Thank you, Nico. Mr. Kazi's still at the damn gym. He's been there for a while. Yeah. What am I gonna do with that? Right? Maybe do a magnet. But I think like we're going to be going on day trips, so maybe I will take them with me. I'll have them, and like we'll just stick them somewhere if like because he'll do something that's music wise, and like you can go like if it's like a music type kind of thing, they usually don't care if they put like promote self promoting stickers on there, you know. So Lilith, did I tell you? I know that I announced it because I'm very excited about this. I announced it when Bert Cheeseburger. She's not here. She dipped in and dipped out. She had to go. But I went to the doctor yesterday and I'm 230 pounds. 235 pounds. I lost a total of 70 something. I have 20 pounds to go to my goal weight. I'm gonna have to stop eating junk. Just get a foam board from Dollar Tree and pin them to it and put it in the back of your closet door so you can. Oh, okay. What, that door? That's my bedroom door. That door? Or should I do something underneath the Kamikaze sign? Because I could do something like that. That's awesome, Tater. Thanks for the idea. Thanks, Jenna. Thanks, Lily. and Jersey. Yes. I'm pretty excited about it. I was like, hey, you know what? I jumped on the scale and I thought that I plateaued. Turns out I didn't. Turns out I didn't. Anywho's Hauser. Yeah, I can do that. Do like a little collage. Maybe I'll find like little cat pictures and stuff like that. I mean, all my cat pictures of the girl, like my cats, are in my phone. So I could try and do something like that. That's a great idea. That's a great idea. I haven't been to the dollar store in a while. It's time for me to start cruising around the dollar store. Thank you, Tater. Tater's first day back, giving us great ideas. See, I told you she's like my parental supervision around here. Next week, we're going to finish out, well, not finish out because there's this People magazine is a thickums. But we'll talk about the 90s again next week. Your face is looking thinner, Kimmy. Thank you. Well, I mean, losing 70 pounds, I hope so. But like when I turned to the side, like I was looking at I was watching this stuff like Mr. Kazi put up the Taggart's video from Ohio, like the restaurant that we went in, and he was getting my side purple. Now I never cared about what I looked like on camera. It was never I never cared about that. But I'm looking and it's the side view, and then like we're shoving food in our face, and I'm like, darn it. But it's all right. I'm still gonna have the gobble. It's okay. It's okay. I love the 90s nostalgia. I know, and next week I'll probably open up with a song that is the 90s. Crying out loud, chose the 80s. Too shy shy. I got to go edit it out so that we don't get blocked again. You know, because there are some people that come in and that they don't watch it because they're over there in the West Coast. Ocean's here every week, and we love her for that. I love you for that. You guys, a lot of you are a different time zone. Ocean, a foam board is foam with paper on it, like a poster board kind of, same size. Ocean! What happened to me? Oh, look at that. I haven't been full screen. Gotta play some like Pearl Jam or White Zombie. That's a good idea. I was going George Michael, Culture Club, but Pearl Jam and White Zombie are good. When did Let the Bodies Hit the Floor? Because I feel like I feel aggressive some mornings. Anyway, we'll figure that out. You don't know if you've ever seen it. Yeah, it's just like you could put push pins in it. But even if I got like, I don't know. Oh my God. We got a box of tissues and I didn't, I have one left. Nirvana. I loved the grunge. I loved all of the bands that came out of the Seattle area. And if I had to place, like if I had to put them in order, it would be Stone Temple Pilots, Soundgarden, Pearl Jam, and Nirvana. I wasn't a big Nirvana fan. I mean, I know the songs and stuff like that, but that would be my order. And I know people would probably fight me on the Pearl Jam thing. Kind of like a cork board, but not cork. Kind of like that. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. That will actually give me like a hobby to do instead of I could just put my earphones on and listen to who the hell's bitching at one another and fighting one another. Exodus Toxic Waltz is a cool tune. Never heard of it. Caturday is my wake up call at 7 a.m. here in Arizona. Need to figure out the time. Well, you will. How long is it going to be before we make this move? I feel like we're on your adventure, Nico. Kurt was 10 years and 3 days older than me, born the same town, same hospital. Oh, that's cool. That's a fun fact, Jenna. And knowing exactly, like, the 3 days thing, that's cool. I mean, because it's closer to your date of birth. I love that idea. I'm gonna have to tell Mr. Halsey we need to get something like that because I did think about that. Like I was making them, and then I finally came up with the black like guitar, and I thought that that was kind of like a cool theme for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for us. And you'll see. Um, he's got to do the clip for me, and he's working on it. So giving him something to do while he edits. I can do like a corkboard, like a little collage, like a little collage. So anyway, all right, I gotta go down there and figure out how to frickin' my brother's still sleeping, so I'm gonna be making noise in the kitchen. He's either gonna sleep through it or wake up. Um, we're doing chicken Florentine. Mr. Crosby wants some damn burgers again. So I gotta do that and make them taters, make them eggs. Oh, I forgot eggs and bacon. We need to sell this place, but our settlement is in less than 30 days in Louisiana. Oh my God. Less than 30 days. That's going to be like around Labor Day. I know. I'm going to try chicken Florentine for the first time. I got the thin breast chicken. And I don't like it's not fried. It's like kind of salty. But I'm still trying to decide if I want to dredge them in flour. And then I probably will so that it kind of thickens up the sauce. I don't know. I'll let you all know how it made out. Yes. I got the big container of spinach because I know that wilts down and the guys like the spinach, so I got extra spinach. Anyhow, you guys, thank you very much for coming to our 90s party. Next week we're going to continue this because I got the magazine right next to us. And Mr. Kazi's going to start work soon. So, thank you. Hit the like. Yeah, it'll be blocked because we played the I'm craving your rustic pizza. Lilith, I got ground chicken. It was $2.99 for the pound. Comes in a pound package. And I did the chicken pressed uh pizza. That's really good. No carbs. That's good and healthy. Anyway, I will see you guys in a stream because everybody's streaming, everybody's fighting. I'm just here I just listen. So have a great Saturday. I will see you guys soon. Bye.